This video is made possible thanks to our Patreons. If you would like to have your story turned into a video or a story written especially for you, be sure to take a look. Enjoy. Eric woke up to the sound of his alarm clock. He felt tired and cut off from the world around him. He got out of bed and did what he always did, which was to get dressed and eat breakfast. He was alone for the weekend. His parents and sister went to Europe for a couple of days to see family. They asked him to come with them, but he said he had work to do, which was kind of a lie. In reality, he just didn't want to go. Work was really draining him, and he just needed some alone time. Eric spent the day watching Netflix and ordering takeout, not doing anything productive, and naturally was getting kind of bored. Suddenly, a thought caught his attention. He remembered that his sister had told him about a family picture that she thought she had left in her room but couldn't find. Not that a picture like that was really important, but he had nothing better to do. So he felt like going on an adventure. Eric took careful steps to get to his sister's room. When he opened the door, he found himself in a place that was both familiar and strange. He looked around the room for anything that might lead him to the family photo. As he looked through her drawers, memories of the times he and his sister had spent in this room together came back to him. Nostalgia made him remember the good times. Suddenly, his eyes fell on a colorful wardrobe that seemed to tell stories about being a beautiful woman and being yourself. His sister and him would often play dress-up as a kid, and all the fond memories came back to him. He hadn't worn a dress in years. Eric opened the drawers and touched the soft fabric of his sister's dresses, skirts, undergarments, and blouses. He was feeling something he hadn't felt in years. He took out one of the lace undergarments and couldn't help but be amazed by how soft it was and how many tiny details it had. The fabric made him feel like it held the secrets of a world he didn't know, making him want to find out more about a part of himself he hadn't expressed in years. Eric carefully took off his clothes and put on some of his sister's. There was so much choice, he wanted to try every piece of fabric. He moved the fabric around and couldn't help but notice how it hugged his body and fit him in a way that felt very natural. As a hobby, he enjoyed cycling, so he had already shaved legs. Feeling these girly clothes on his bare legs made him feel very different. Eric looked at his reflection in the mirror and saw a mix of weakness and newfound strength. Eric spent the afternoon trying on different clothes and admiring how each one let him show a different side of his personality. As he ran his fingers over a cotton blouse, he felt the softness and smoothness of the material. The blouse seemed to whisper against his skin, promising comfort and breathability. Then he spotted a display of delicate undies made from lace and satin. The thin fabric felt silky and luxurious in his hands. It had a sensuous feel against his skin. His eyes widened with delight as he saw a blue dress and touched the fabrics that varied from flowing chiffon to sleek satin. He then reached out to a cotton sundress and felt its lightweight texture. It was like a gentle caress against his fingertips, promising coolness and freedom of movement. He imagined twirling in the dress, the fabric swirling around him as he embraced the joy of summer. He then discovered a selection of skirts in different lengths and materials. Eric selected a flowy, knee-length skirt made of a soft polyester blend. As he held it up, he could almost feel the breeze brushing against his legs. The fabric felt light and airy, hinting at comfort and grace. He envisioned himself strolling through a garden, the skirt gently rustling with every step, as he reveled in its feminine charm. Eric looked at himself in the full-length mirror while wearing silky laced undies, a loose navy blue skirt, and a white blouse. He spun around, feeling the soft fabric brush against his thighs and the lightness of the skirt as it swirled around him. He had never felt anything like it before, and he was really enjoying it. He couldn't help but be amazed by how the soft fabric felt against his skin, how it fit his body, and how it made him feel. It was like a secret part of him had been unlocked, and he could finally express himself in a way he never thought was possible. He reached out to touch another shirt's fabric. This one had bright floral patterns that made him think of a sunny spring day. He could feel that the material was smooth, but had a little bit of a bubble-like feel to it. He couldn't help but be drawn to it because the colors were so bright and alive. Then Eric carefully picked up the skater skirt and noticed that the fabric was soft and flowy. He could feel that the material was light and airy, and it moved smoothly through his fingers. Next, he picked up the tights and noticed that they were smooth and flexible. As he carefully slid his legs into them, the fabric gently clung to his skin, making for a snug but still flexible fit. The tights were soft and warm against his legs. Eric couldn't help but admire the whole outfit as he stood in front of the mirror. The skater skirt made his movements stand out and made it easy for him to twirl and spin gracefully. The tights added a pop of color and made the whole look better. He felt stylish and sure of himself when he wore the two things together, which was a true reflection of who he was. After spending hours trying on clothes, he thought it would be fun to try some makeup too. He picked up a thin tube of mascara, carefully brushed the wand over his eyelashes to make them longer and fuller. This made his eyelids flutter. Then a small container of shiny lip gloss caught his eye. He opened the cap and saw a beautiful pink color that caught the light. Eric carefully put the gloss on his lips and liked how the slight shimmer made his face look a little more glamorous. Eric's change didn't stop there, though. He looked into his sister's jewelry box and saw a delicate chain necklace and a pair of beautiful earrings. He carefully put the necklace around his neck, feeling how heavy it was and how the pendant gently tickled his chest. He put the earrings on his ears with a chuckle and enjoyed the fun sound they made when he moved. Eric twirled around the room, enchanted by the way he looked now. As he did this, he noticed something strange on the top shelf of the closet. He reached up and touched a brown, curly, long hair wig with his fingers. As soon as he put it on, he felt like he changed magically. His short, sandy hair was hidden by the wig's thick curls, and he became a completely different person. Eric wanted to find out more about who he was. What if he went out? That would be great, wouldn't it? He decided to go to the movies so he could stay hidden and people wouldn't necessarily be focused on him. At least that is what he thought. Eric got ready for a new and exciting adventure as he left his house wearing a beautiful blouse and skater skirts, perfect makeup, and a wig that fell around his shoulders. He went to the local movie theater, nervous and excited at the same time. As he walked, the fabric moved against his shaved legs, and it made him feel so good. This was such a difference compared to guy clothes. The fabric changed him. As soon as he walked into the theater, every guy seemed to look at him. People turned their heads and were briefly drawn in by the sight of grace and femininity in front of them. He even noticed a cute guy winking at him. This made Eric feel both confused and excited. As he walked up to the ticket counter, the worker greeted him with a warm smile and asked, "How can I help you, miss?" Eric's face lit up with a huge smile when he heard that he was recognized as a woman. Eric tried watching the movie, but was too distracted by the fabric on his skin and couldn't help but think some of the guys in the theater were looking at him funny. Did everybody really think he was a girl? Was he really that attractive? Or was it something else? All these questions kept popping up in his mind. When the movie was over and Eric was getting ready to go home, a young man came up to him with a friendly smile. Mistakenly perceiving Eric as a beautiful girl, he mustered up the courage to strike up a conversation. "Excuse me, miss," the young man began. "I couldn't help but notice you during the movie. You look absolutely stunning. Would you like to get a cup of coffee or maybe just hang out?" Eric was shocked. "Wow, they really believe I'm a girl," he thought. But he was afraid. What if he talked and his voice would give it away? He tried to put up a high-pitched voice and said, "I don't have time right now, but I could give you my number, so we could meet another time," hoping this would end the conversation quicker. The young man gave Eric his phone so he could put in his number. He thought about just putting in a fake number, but gave his real one anyway. The thought of a guy giving him attention made him excited, so he wanted to at least give a real number. I could always ignore him if things don't work out, Eric thought. The name he gave himself in the phone was Erica. "I've got to go now. Talk to you soon." Erica quickly walked away from the young man while winking at him. He felt confused. He wanted to quickly get out of the situation and was scared the young man found out who he was. But at the same time, he felt excited. Having boys look at you and being interested in you while you are wearing beautiful clothes made him feel very sensual. He wanted more of that. But for now, it was time to go home. When Erica got back to the house, he felt a sense of pride. Wow, what an experience, he thought. Once inside, he went back to his sister's closet. When he opened it, he chose a soft and pretty nightgown to put on and relax in the evening. Its soft colors and fine lace drew him in, and he couldn't resist the urge to put it on. Eric thought about the day and what happened as the soft nightgown wrapped around him. People always thought he looked a little bit like a woman, but he really pulled it off this time. All the childhood feelings from playing dress-up with his sister had come back that day. He really wanted to try on more fabric. His phone beeped. It was the cute guy from earlier. He asked if Erica wanted to hang out tomorrow. Erica thought about ignoring him at first, but the male attention he got made him feel warm inside. It couldn't hurt, he thought. His parents and sister wouldn't be home for a couple of days anyway. He could just try to train himself to sound and look more feminine, and hopefully the cute guy wouldn't notice. But for now, it was time to sleep. It was going to be a big day tomorrow. Erica felt wonderful in her nightie, feeling the soft fabric against her skin, and thought about all the different clothes she could wear tomorrow while slowly falling asleep. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.